As Mike would say, same old show, just a new year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But guess what? We still gonna enhance it.
Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help.
I'm scared of dating, because what if we don't break up?
Or you could just send them a message and say, man, have you seen I lost my feelings for you?
Damn. Have you ever struggled with the breakup?
I've told some people, like, you know what, I can't do this shit no more.
Great person, but you just not for me.
Someone said, real growth starts when you're tired of your own shit. What we've been talking about, man, just being able to look in the mirror first.
The only toxic relationship I ever had is the one I had with myself. Everyone else was just a reflection of that.
Come on, Jesus.
Golly, what more do you need to say? You attract more opportunities once you are calm, because no one wants to deal with people who lack emotional control.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Maybe This Will Help.
I thought we was mature in 2022. That's my bad.
So here we go. Is the relationship over if the marriage proposal is declined?
First off,
She said no to the ring.
listen. So I'm saying bye-bye.
No vagina is whack or dry. You just don't turn her on. I'm jugular out the gate, bro. Let's get into this.
Dating someone you can have fun with is really unmatched. That's in my top 3. If I can't have fun with you, I don't even know how this thing gonna work.
Hey, bro, give us the other 2. Fun and what else?
Nah.
All right, no, don't worry. It's all good. What else?
That's why you can't tell your brother stuff in confidence, because they go,
Let's normalize bragging about women like this.
Hey, now.
go back. I'm being honest. I feel like she started feeling the beat a little bit.
Are you guys brutally honest with your friends, or do you hold back in order not to hurt their feelings?
The honesty is not the brutal part. The brutal part is how the person perceives your honesty.
If you're dating a narcissist at Christmas, you had better run.
Maybe this will help. Will this help you?
Don't forget the maybe, baby. Don't forget
Hey,
the
listen.
maybe, baby.
All I'm saying is we need to get in the studio.
Baby.
Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help.
Don't forget the maybe, baby. Don't forget the maybe, baby. Dub, can we get it? It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, bro. me.
And it sounds good too. We just can't hear the brother.
And he the brother's over there.
Oh.
You was muted the whole time, bro. Yes. Yeah, bro. You was. I go for it, bro. We got you.
Good.
I forgot the lyrics now since I was muted. Dang.
Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the maybe. You didn't forget the maybe, baby. You're here tonight. Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help, the relationship podcast, giving you the good, the bad, the alimony, relationship talk you can relate to. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We know that we took a quick hiatus last week. Where that's always about whenever you don't see one of us here and none of us here, we 99% of the time we're doing what we say to do on the show and handling our priorities. You know, we know this is a ministry that God has given us, but we also take serious practice in what we preach. Fall short some days, but we get back up and try again. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We're ready to get into it. Go ahead and tag somebody that you think will benefit from the show tonight. Make sure that you jump into the chat. Let us know you're here and participate tonight, because again, sometimes what you say is what helps. Fellas, let's check in, man. How y'all feeling? How'd you enjoy your week off? Where y'all at, man? And what's coming?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm feeling a lot better, man. This past week, I just been, just doing some serious self-reflection and just really understanding why, things are and why things aren't happening in life. You know what I mean? And sometimes we want things to happen, right now. And God is like, well, no, I don't want it to happen right now. I want it to happen when I want it to happen for you. So I'm just kind of stepping out of my own way and really trying to see what God really has in store for this next season. That's not always a fun feeling. It's not always a good feeling when God is chastising you, but I know it's necessary. So I'm just embracing all of it, man. Other than that, life is good. My kid is good. Yeah.
Dang, I feel like, ooh, you in trouble. What
That's
you
right.
do? Dang, God on your head, homie. What you do? Dub, what about you, bro?
Let's see. So last weekend, I was in Florida, Orlando, Florida, celebrating my grandmother's 90th birthday.
Come on, Granny.
Man, it was a good time, man. That was my first time going to Orlando. You know, I have family out there. I've been to Miami, visit my family in Miami, but I've never. And then my family from Orlando usually come out this way. But I was visiting them in Orlando, and man, it's such a nice city. It's an extremely nice city. It's clean. It's a beautiful city. It's just so peaceful. You know what I mean? Just the whole time it was just so relaxed and so comforting and so peaceful, and just seeing the happiness and the smile on my granny's face. You know, man, just the love that she received. You know what I'm saying? Turning 90 years old, the love that she received. It was one of those things, man. She had a smile on her face the entire time. You
Come on,
know,
man.
out
Yeah.
there. We went out there like last Thursday morning, and we came back Monday evening. And I'm telling you, the entire time she had a smile on her face. You know what I mean? And she, you know, every night she would tell me she got a chance to get some good sleep, some good rest. So that just made my day. You know what I mean? That made my trip. You know what I mean? Got to spend some time with my uncle, my great uncle, and just to be around people with so much knowledge and so much wisdom. You know what I mean? It gave me an opportunity to just ask my uncle certain things like, oh, you know, he knows that I like jazz and he loves jazz too, you know, and just being able to just say, hey, can you just tell me some good jazz artists to you know, to listen to, and to see his face light up as I ask him for information that he has. You know what I mean? It was just it was a beautiful thing, man. It was a real beautiful thing. So um in addition to that, man, just since I've been back, still just continuing just working on freedom. You know, freedom is just I'm working towards that, man, and I'm understanding how much uh I'm understanding the price of freedom. You know what I mean? And the price of freedom is not just you being free, but it's you allowing others to be free, and it's still accepting and it's still loving them, even in their freedom, knowing that everybody's a human, everybody has emotions, everybody has wants, desires, and you can't control nobody's wants, desires. You know, you can't control what they do, what they say, but the beautiful thing is still being able to love them in the midst of it. You know what I'm saying? Even if they do something, even if it's an accident or if they done something on purpose or whatever, just understanding that people are people, and giving people, you know what I'm saying, grace to be people without judging, without, you know, completely just giving up on people, you know, without just stuff like that, man, just allowing grace. And I'm learning that because I'm having to check myself, you know what I mean, on certain things that make me feel a certain way. And it's just like, okay, why am I feeling this way? You know, do I have so-called justifiable reason to feel this way? You know, everybody has emotions, but if somebody does something, do I have justifiable reason to feel this way, or am I feelings, or am I in my feelings? And even if I feel like I have justifiable reason to feel that way, still everybody's still allowed to do what they want and say what they want at any given time. So I'm just learning the importance of freedom, man, and I'm learning the importance of unconditional love and how to love in that freedom, and and to let go of pride and arrogance and ego and opinion and, you know, expectations and all these different things, man. And when you do, it's just so freeing. But sometimes I get pulled back into it because certain things happen and I feel a certain way. I still have that human aspect, you know what I mean, and it still makes me feel a certain way. So I'm learning it, man, and it's awesome, the progress that I see and that I feel day by day. Uh, but it's still tough, man. It's still tough, and it's still one of them things that hurt sometimes. That's where I'm at.
Amen to that, bro. I appreciate that process, that exposure, man, because sometimes we can be under the delusion that it just happens overnight. You know what I'm saying? You get this revelation and now you walking in it perfectly for your life. And that's, that hasn't been the case for me. So it's good to hear that somebody else out there is living that same kind of back and forth. I was taking a shower before the show thinking about that, like just a road to recovery. Just like how you got like a good 5 days and all of a sudden you have this huge relapse, and then you have like 2 good days, and you have 3 or 4 all right days, and you have like a cool month, and then you have this just halfway relapse, and then you have a good day, then a big relapse. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Nothing. You keep getting back up. That's the only thing you need to do is right. To keep trying. The sermon today was talking about more about our hearts than our behavior, and how that's what God looks at. And honestly, that's the motivation for us when we look at people. You know what I'm saying? Holding space for them is what I call it. You know what I'm saying? For them to go through whatever their process is. You don't never know how challenging it may be for somebody to go through what they're going through. They could be on their last dollar, and you're like, I've been on my last dollar plenty of times, but they ain't you.
Right.
You know, this may be their first time experiencing, or they may be in a whole different headspace, or they may be in a whole different physical space. You know what I'm saying to you? So I love that what you said, man. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, bro.
Yeah, it's a good process, man. And even in this process, understanding, I've never been one of them type of people that just know it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know everything. But understanding that I don't know it all. Understanding that areas that when I don't know something, I'm able to humble myself and ask, like, hey, I don't know this. I've never been in this. You know what I'm saying? I've never experienced this before. And just being at a place where I'm being more vocal about for lack of better terms, my deficiencies. You know what I'm saying? My areas that I'm not, well versed at, the areas that I'm not knowledgeable in. You know what I mean? The areas that I don't know, and I'm trying my best not to just try to fake it till I make it, so to speak. Just being wise enough to say, hey, I don't know this. Can you help me?
Yeah, that's good talk, man. I mean, thinking about it, like, I'm good. Like we was talking before the show started. I told Mike, see, he was having a brain fart, didn't know how to work his technology. And I told him, you can't be good at everything, You can't be tall, be a model, you know what I'm saying, have the best girlfriend ever and be smart. You just gotta give somewhere. So
yeah.
I'm learning that at my present job, bro. I'm in a place where I'm just like rookie status on so many different levels. And I recognize it is good for you to get out of the places that you've mastered or that you believe that you've mastered, and not for the humbling part, but for the expansion of who you are, for the unpacking of who you are. What you got, Mike?
No, I'm just piggybacking on both of you. So even with this new job that I started back in February, going in thinking that, okay, I know the job. I've been doing it for umpteen years. You know what I mean? But then to get in a job to where things are unfamiliar, and it's almost like it re-sparks that wanting to learn and that joy and that passion that you have for when you first started. Because now you're learning new stuff. You know what I mean? You're excited that you, like you said, you're growing and you're expanding, and it's a good feeling, man. And it's a good feeling when you recognize, like Dub said, when you start to recognize your shortcomings and can be vocal and verbal about them. Like, look, I just don't know. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to put in the work. I just don't know. That's
man. Your ego ever tell you to run though?
Yes.
My ego be telling me, man, let's go somewhere we really good at. We good at what we do. We over here looking foolish. Let's not stay here. Ego be trying to get you to abandon your growth opportunity, bro. Yep. No bueno. Well, hello to everybody out in the audience. We see you, Reggie. That's Mike. That's Mike's guy.
What up, Mike?
What's up, my guy? What's up, Amber? It's good to see you in here chatting in, helping us out. Drum, we appreciate you. He said, I definitely feel a lot of what he just said. I love how openly y'all talking on this podcast is good stuff. We're going to do it all night, man. This is the goal, and we hope you guys are transparent and share with us, because honestly, the hope for tonight is that maybe something we say or something you say will help. Fellas, I'm ready for tonight, man. I got my ankle army shirt on tonight. You know that I'm with it tonight. So we got some good stuff in the queue. Thank you guys for those who have submitted different topics for us to talk about through our Instagram account, which is Maybe This Will Help the Podcast, or also through our Gmail account, which is Maybe This Will Help the Podcast @gmail. Stay in touch with us on those sites. Get ready to tag somebody to join into the show. We're about to get into it. Fellas, are y'all ready?
Let's go.
All right, cool. All right, here we go. Boom. What's a good first date question? Is there someone who thinks you are in a relationship with them? Is that a good first date question?
First date question?
First date, bro. First date question. Is there anybody else out there that thinks that you're in a relationship with them?
For me, I don't think that's a good first date question. I mean, it may be a question that people may want to ask later on down the line, but if it's a first date, you trying to get to know that person and you're enjoying trying to collect data. It's not even say that it's going anywhere. So to ask that on the first date, nah, for me personally, I don't think that's a good question to ask on the first date. You know, you know, depending on how long you've known that person, you know what I mean? You could have history with that person and you guys just now having a first date. Or you can just have met that person and you guys are on the first date. So I think that kind of weighs in on it.
Right.
I feel like if you don't know a person like that, you know, and just you know, you're barely getting to know them and you're making an impression on each other, I don't feel like that's a good question. Me personally.
Where you at, Mike?
I'm gonna have to co-sign with Doug with Doug on this one, simply because I feel like with the tools that we've gained and from just from the show alone, we're gonna be doing a lot of communicating during this dating phase. So for me, once I realize, okay, I'm feeling stronger than, okay, I just want to hang out, or I just want to, you know, do this and that. If I start to feel myself actually catching some legit feelings, and you know, I'm communicating with her and she's saying she's doing the same, I think then maybe it's the appropriate time to say, hey, so, you know, if we do decide to move forward, I need to know, is there anybody else out there that may be thinking that they're your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or y'all are dating, or whatever the case may be. Not to say that means I'm gonna just automatically run the other way, but just so I know, just for my own peace of mind.
You want to know? You want to know for what though? You want to know for what?
I think I would want to know, because I need to know of how much of myself am I willing to give to somebody that's giving themselves to somebody else as well.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna put on the Drew Hill song. Says I should be your boyfriend. I ain't never had an issue. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not even gonna go there. But there's been times where I've been interested in young ladies who, man, you know, they were a good look, and other people thought they were a good look, and so they had people who they were talking to at the time that they met me. And you know, I've never felt like that for me was a red flag. You know, I always felt like, yeah, you with them. Of course, you hadn't met me yet. I get it. You know, and through the course of getting to know me, let's see what decision you make moving forward now that I am here.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so, you know, when I first,
No, I'm agreeing.
when I first read it, my first instinct was like, yeah, that's good first date stuff. But Dub brought something back to the table. Like, man, what is that? What do you want that first date experience to be like? Do you want it to feel like an interrogation?
Right.
Or you just want to make a memory with a person? You don't even know where this is going yet. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, yo, like, let's just laugh, have some fun if we can. I think that this is where the first date is allowed, like Dub been saying, the freedom that it deserves, because you get in that space. And I don't care if you guys got dinner and a movie booked. If appetizers ain't going well, call tonight. Call it. It's all good. Just the first date. We feeling each other, and we was feeling each other out, and we decide we're not feeling each other. So let's just call it. You know what I'm saying? You got dinner and a movie booked, and you know, movie's over, and y'all want to do some more, maybe go walk to the park or go to the beach, then play it by ear. You know what I'm saying to you? I think that when you get too structured with your list of questions, how the night has to go, and again, this is just me, because some people like that structure. But in the first day, you kind of get to see where somebody is and what are you really trying to identify. You know, not can I have sex with this person, but can I do life with this person? You know what I'm saying? Those are the subconscious things you're already considering in your head. So yeah, I'm gonna agree with y'all on that, man. What y'all at? Wow, we already got 9 comments. So let me see what these people out here saying. All right, so what boy Drunk said, females usually ask how many other females are you talking to? I've heard that one. So I guess it's kind of like the same question. Yeah, I think that's more the question I've been hearing too. Like, how many females are you talking to? Not even dating, but talking to. Y'all heard that question before?
100%.
Yeah.
Y'all ever asked that question? A girl, how many dudes she talking to?
No.
Don't even care.
I think it's when you're a good looking guy, I think it's automatically an assumption that you must be talking to all these different women. I'm sure we've all heard it. Like, how many chicks you talking to, or like Drunk said, like how many women are you dating?
No, just say what they say. Say what they say. What's the phrase they say?
What is it?
I know you got hoes. That's what they say. I'm like, dude, like, first of all,
you're
so disrespectful.
Right. You're 100% right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, why are you even approaching me if that's what you believe?
Because they see what they see, what's attracting them, and they feel that you must be attracting everybody else, all these other women around you. Because if they're attracted to you, then you got to be attracting her and her and her and her and her. Which really, even if I am, it doesn't make a difference if I'm on a date with you, right? I'm here with you.
Got you. I'm here with you, baby. Ali said, I can date 4 guys if I want to during the dating phase. When ready to commit, they can ask, and I can decide if I want to commit also. You free to do whatever you want. McJellen says she's with Dub on this one. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Somebody, y'all agree. That is the phrase. Wow, bro. Have you ever had somebody approach you like, man, I thought you was gonna be mean. Like, so you just took a big risk. Like you just out here approaching the mean guy, huh? Like, something about that just never really computed with me. But I get it. Sometimes I've come across very attractive women and started my first few lines and sure didn't plan on saying what I said because I was nervous because she was so pretty. You know what I'm saying? So I'll hold space because sometimes you just end up saying just a whole bunch of corny stuff and you're like, God, man, let me do this over. Let me do this over.
But have y'all ever seen a woman or come in contact with a woman that you feel is like, oh, she's gonna be stuck up, or she's gonna be this, or she's gonna be that, just by what you've seen on the outside before getting to know her?
Judging a book by its cover?
Yeah, have y'all ever done that?
I do it every day. I judge everything off jump. I just try not to condemn. I think it's in my mind. Remember we did that personality test within the circle, and it said that I was a judger, and I was like, damn, that sucks. But I had to look into it, and it said that a judger is a person that's quicker to jump to conclusions. And so knowing that, I try to manage that. You know what I'm saying? I try to not let my conclusions be so hardcore because they're based off of secondary data that I'm picking up in the environment. I don't even know this person. So wherever I pick that up at, I got to keep myself in check about that. So yes, I definitely have.
So you're saying there's nothing necessarily wrong with judging a book by its cover, as long as you don't allow that to alter your interactions with the person.
I say that as long as you don't get closed-minded. I think that what we do instinctively as human beings is a process of survival of the fittest. We judge a situation to see if it's safe or not.
Right.
We're doing that, and especially if you grew up in the hood, you're always assessing your situation. This person looks suspect. This person, like, they don't need to be in here. Why are they in here? You're always analyzing your situation, and I think that sometimes I try to remind myself to analyze the situation, but don't criticize the person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take time to get to know them. There's just but certain things that people do, man, like why this brother ain't take his hands out of his pockets and it's been 5 minutes. I'm watching stuff like that. You know what I'm saying to you? So yeah. What about you, Dub?
I think everybody judges at some point or another, whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
Whether it be, same thing. It may not always just be, if this woman is prissy or if this woman don't have an attitude, or it may not be in that fashion. It may be, coming from the hood. It may be sizing people up, like, oh man, blah blah blah. Whether security wise, safety wise, it may be judging if this person, just off first look or glance or first conversation, if you want that person to meet people around you. Yeah. Even if it's just, just the way you and that person interact, and you may judge and say, nope, I don't want this person to meet my folks. And then when they get around them, they can be a completely different type of person. You know what I'm saying? They probably have a different reaction or response, or maybe even the way they are, they'll still be the same way in front of your people, but maybe your people will accept them, and maybe your people will, you know what I'm saying, will have a love for that. But instead, you're like, nah, I'm not gonna, my folks gonna make them look like this or blah blah blah. So with that being the case, I think everybody judge at some point. People try to say no, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Even when people look at homeless people sometimes, you know what I mean?
You don't even know.
You judge homeless people, you judge, situations. You can see somebody talking to themselves or what appear to be talking to themselves, and they could be praying out loud. And you probably judge them thinking they crazy.
Or on their Bluetooth.
Right, or on their Bluetooth. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff that people say, oh, I'm not judged, I don't this, I don't that. Man, shut up. Yes, you do. You know what I'm saying? It may not be in that capacity as to, you know what I'm saying, if you just gonna automatically say somebody is stuck up or something like that, but people are always judging.
I mean, that's how I approach the people I do approach. I came to the conclusion you look like you friendly. You look like you need me. I'm gonna come over here and talk to you. You like you'd be a good conversation to have. All right. All right, fellas, since we in the dating space, man, let's stay in this phase, man. I got another one for y'all. Ladies, when dating a man, would you give or allow the man you're dating to borrow money from you? Have y'all ever borrowed money from someone you were dating?
I want to know that question from the ladies in the audience.
Go ahead and ask them then, ladies. Let's do this one more time. Ladies, when dating a man, would you give or allow the man you're dating to borrow money from you in the dating phase? But we're not, that's not, I guess that we're deciphering that's different from the relationship phase.
Yeah.
This is either dating or dating exclusively. You're just collecting data. Let's see what they got to say. But
Amber on top says nope.
No? Can't get a dollar? Can I borrow some food?
I like that portion.
What she say? I would give.
I would give.
Not to borrow. So that's what we're assuming. I guess not you ain't got to pay it back.
That's good. That's good. And I like it. I like it as well, Portia, because I just feel like you don't necessarily know, like Donnie said earlier, you don't always know what we got.
Should I have? I think before I do it again.
No, but sometimes you just don't know where people are at, because if a man says, "Hey, can I borrow $20 real quick?" That doesn't mean he needs it, because without it, he's just gonna fail in life, or because he don't have it in his bank account. That could just mean, "Hey, I just ran out the house real quick, forgot my wallet. You think I could get $20 real quick?" And by saying no, or by making it a big deal, you could potentially miss out on something that could be great.
I hear that. It was interesting, man. I was talking to one of my exes from high school, and we're still friends to this day, man. We're really good friends. And if you know how old I am, you know that I was in high school 50 years ago.
Damn.
But damn. So she was telling me, she randomly hit me up, and she was like, "I just want to thank you for never asking to borrow money." Like, what are you talking about? She said, "Just thank you for never asking to borrow money." I was talking to my homegirls, and all of us said every single relationship that we were in, the boyfriend always asked to borrow money, and I was the only one that had you. Like, you never asked me for any money, and I wasn't aware of that. This was a normal occurrence.
Right.
So I thought it was interesting. So it does happen. It's a lot of guys out there asking to borrow money for like whatever reasons. Like Allie said, well, for her it depends on the circumstance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying to you? Sharon saying same. It's a gift. I'm not looking to get it back. And I was always taught, never loan out what you can't give away. So
yeah, this topic for me, it's touchy. It's a touchy subject. To hear women say no, they will not let a man borrow money. It does something to me. It makes me feel a certain way. I don't ask anybody for anything. You guys know me. Y'all don't ask. I don't ask anybody for anything. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a, if anything, here, give it. No, here, take it when it comes to me. I don't ask anybody for anything. You know what I mean? I never had to ask a woman, can I borrow some money? But it just it hurts me and it bothers me that people's reaction is no. You know, whether and they look at it like guys and girls and a man should never ask. Why shouldn't a man ask? Now let's look at certain things. Let's look at stats, right? It's easier for a woman or a child to get help on the street than it is for a man to get help on the street. There's all these extra situations and places that'll help women and children, but men are expected to just get it how they gonna get it, however they can get it. Men are expected to be men and just, oh, well, you're a man, oh, you're able-bodied, oh, this, oh, that. Situations happen. And sometimes that man can say, you know what, I've been working my behind off, I've been trying, I've been struggling, I'm in a position right now. So I don't go and do nothing stupid right now, let me ask, can I borrow this from you? Right? I've been in a situation to where, you know, I'm not going to talk about my past, but I did some very colorful things to help people out.
Is that why you were at the club?
No.
Okay.
I did some very colorful things to help people out, and borrowing money from people. If people, like I said, you never know the circumstances somebody is in. You never know, you know what I'm saying, what somebody is going through. And maybe they reaching out to you and say, hey, you know what? Can I borrow this? And that's going to stop them from going to rob somebody. Or that's going to stop them from going to jack somebody. Or that's going to stop them from going to doing a home invasion because they desperate at that time. So I feel like guy or girl, you know what I'm saying, you don't just turn your back on somebody or just say, no, you can't borrow this. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to let somebody borrow it, don't let a woman borrow it then. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have rules about people borrowing money, don't let it just be just because it's a man. Don't let nobody borrow money.
So we got a comment here. It says that women who say no don't trust their picker. And this came from a woman. So she said, if you're saying no, that you wouldn't let a man that you're dating borrow money, then what does that say about the man that you, what does that say about your choosing of men? That's what her comment is. For me, one of my mantras in the morning is joyfully I give to those in need and never will I lack. It's one of my mantras and principles I live by. Doesn't mean I'm giving everybody what they want from me. No, it means that I'm praying about it. I'm praying about it. Doesn't matter who it is. I'm praying about it because it ain't mine anyway. It's God's money. So for me, I'm always praying to find out, is this money bailing them out of a situation that God put them in to learn something, to develop something in them? I'm looking at that point for prayer and discernment, especially in a dating environment, because that's, you know, you work hard for your money. You know what I'm saying to you? And so when it comes down to, I'm not asking, it doesn't even matter the circumstance of why you need it. I'm going to God in prayer to see if I should do it or not. Because if I'm trying to look at your situation and identify if that's worthy of my money, that's not the heart I want to come from. I want to come from a place of obedience, and I don't want to be enabling anybody as well. But I get what Dub is saying. And at the same time, I may not be that person that's supposed to bail you out of that situation. My grandfather, whenever we would come to him and ask for money, he always like big money, like, you know, pay off a car or something like that. Like, did you go to the bank first? What all did you do before you came to me? I'm like, well, you know, you my grandfather. He's like, I get that, but are you resourceful? Do you know how to find ways to access money and resources by other means? Go ahead, Mike.
And I was just going to say, and if I do loan it to you, am I going to are you going to be back here in another month asking to borrow more money again?
Teach them how to fish or give them fish.
Right.
So let me say this. So I like what Drunk said right here, and I'm gonna expand on this. The thing is, nobody want to be taken advantage of, especially in a relationship. And I like that. I like nobody wants to be taken advantage of. In addition to that, I want to say this. Everybody who's saying they will not give man to a money that they date, have you ever given money to a homeless person? You don't know their situation, but you'll freely give it to them because you feel sorry for them, or you feel like you want to help. Or you feel like, oh, well, since that person is asking, they look like they down on their luck, or they look like they need some help. They look like you don't know that person from Adam, but you're willing to give to that person freely. You're willing to go, you know, some people say, oh, well, I don't want to give them money because I don't know if they, you know, want to buy drugs. Once again, that's getting back to the judging thing, right? Or I'll just go and buy them a meal, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. But whatever is like, you're quick to say, no, you won't give money to a man because he's a man, but yet and still, if you see that panhandler on the corner, on the off ramp, you know what I'm saying, holding a nice little sign, say, hey, you know what, I'm down on my luck, or I need some money to feed my family, blah blah blah. you're quick to give it to that person.
I think there's a different set of parameters when you're dating somebody. When you're dating someone, there is a subconscious vetting process that's going on. And so I think that for some people, if the person is asking to borrow money, I think that now you're kind of considering how stable they are and how beneficial of a partner can they be. And I think that is, if that's not where you're coming from, that's fine. But I like to be open-minded and consider other scopes of the equation, because it could seem like if you're trying to find somebody who you can partner with and do life with, you may not see that as an opportunity to showcase your partnership by giving money. You may see that as, damn, like this person like bad with money, like what's the issue? And I think that sometimes we have to recognize that we're doing that in the moment and kind of break ourselves free from it. Like, yo, hold on, man, like this is a person.
Yeah.
You
know? Right. I
And
mean,
those-
and that's and oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, you got it.
Ooh, we.
No, I was gonna show that comment too. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the problem. This is the problem that I see. People don't understand the value of teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you have to have this. You have to have this. You have to have this. But what about the areas that you short in? Everybody is not gifted in every area. You know what I'm saying? Some people are not, the most financially stable people, but they have a lot more to bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? So, that comment that you just now put up, women don't submit to men they provide for, is like, okay, well, what's the antithesis of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, men don't provide for a woman who ain't doing shit, but they're expected to. You know what I'm saying? A man is expected to protect and provide, but I can't even get a meal from you. I can't even get any, you know what I'm saying, any nurturing from you. I can't, like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy the standards that people put. And I understand it. You don't want to get used. You don't want to get played. You know what I'm saying? But everybody is so worried about getting played that they don't understand the bondage that they're putting themselves in with these restrictions. Like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, and the man can't do this. Like, dude, do you realize the bondage that you're putting yourself into from the jump? Like, you're not even allowing anything to flourish, because that same man can be so great to you in another area. He can give you exactly what you need in that other area. You may have a better situation as far as being a provider, or, you know what I'm saying, a better financial situation. But if that man is pulling his weight in the financial area that he can, or in other areas to make everything good for you, understand the value of teamwork in a partnership, and not just saying, oh, this has to be this has to be that. If that's the way you want to roll with it.
Now, I'm gonna go down this path though, just a little bit further, because there are people who, and I've dated women who are very financially responsible, and they have certain things inserted into their budget. You know what I'm saying to you, especially at the age that I'm at. You know what I'm saying? If you got a son at home and you got this rent that you're taking care of, and you're doing this stuff kind of all on yourself, and the brother's asking for a couple of dollars, you know what I'm saying, to handle business, that does impact your financial strategy for the month. And so it is something to be taken into consideration. You know what I'm saying to you? Because somebody on the street, you might give them, 8 quarters. But the brother comes saying, I need to borrow 300. You know, so for some people, that's like 3,000. You know what I'm saying to you? And so if I do have it, but that's an emergency fund, because, I have a child and I have a car that, is kind of running funny. So I just want to say, I understand the hesitation. And I don't want anybody to feel bad because they said no. I just want us all to kind of look at it from the perspective of, like Dub said, why are you saying no? Just because it's a man that I'm dating?
Exactly. It's not like, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Period, point blank. Like, I understand that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, this is my situation. This is my emergency fund. I get it. Don't never put yourself in a situation to where you're going to be stuck. But all I'm just saying is just to look at it off top, just saying, hey, a man that you're dating asked to borrow money, even if it's $5, you know what I'm saying? Oh, nope, I can't do it. Okay. If that's how you want to do, if that will work for you, I can't tell anybody anything that works for them.
Would you shut a girl down though? Would you, if you was dating a girl, you asked her for a couple of bucks, you know what I'm saying, and she said no, would that be the end of the dating?
I don't know if it'll be the end of the dating, but I guarantee it will shut me down in certain areas. Like for me, it's not easy for me to be open. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not easy for me to be open. And if I feel like it's something, if it's a reason that I can't be open with that woman, whether she shut me down, if I ask to borrow something, especially since I don't ask anybody for anything. So if I'm asking for something, then I need it. I really need it. And if I do ask, you know what I'm saying, for whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I got money at home, I just don't have any cash on me, or whatever the situation is. If I'm asking and she tells me no, it probably definitely will. It probably can't say definitely. It probably will make me feel a certain way, and that door probably close a little bit.
So I hear what Portia you're saying. If I had to say no, I would explain why, especially if it's someone I'm dating or exclusive with.
And that's what my biggest thing was. I mean, I think a lot of this can be killed with some communication. Like
what about all the other people you're dating? Can we all get on the conference call and see if we can piece together on the GoFundMe?
Nah, I just feel like if you ask me for something and I say and I have some reservations about giving you whatever it is, I'm gonna ask. It's okay to ask. Oh, what did you need it for? Or if you need to borrow it, you know what I mean. Like the fact that it's my money, I have every right to ask any question I want to ask to whomever about why I'm giving you my hard-earned money. If you take offense to that, that's something you got to deal with on your own. But if I want to ask where's my money going or this and that, it shouldn't be a problem, in my opinion. And that way I know I have peace of mind, and now you get what you want.
Yeah. I mean, I think the person asking for the money also has to walk in the awareness of like, I'm asking for money.
Yes.
It's not just like, let me have a roll of toilet paper. Like we have to understand like, yo, this is a big deal as well. I'm with Kim on this one though. She's saying, I think everyone's situation is different. I don't think it's a straightforward yes or no answer. And I do think it really does depend on where you're at financially, where you guys are at in the dating process, and what your normal way of doing life is. Maybe you're not a person that gives to people on the streets, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Like maybe you grew up in you were taught, like some people I know, you ask your first circle of friends, then you ask your family, then you ask your community. And then you kind of ask the person that you're dating. So you wonder like, well, where your friends at? Like where your people at? You know what I'm saying to you? And that's how some people are. So yeah.
This is just one of them situations to where, man, you know what? I talk a little bit about this situation, but I'm learning more when to just shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because I realize my thoughts and my opinion are different from other people's, and I realize sometimes just the way I see people, I say it over and over again. I hate selfish people. I think selfish people are so evil, and to me, certain things just appear to be selfish. You know, whether it is or it's not. You know, whether people think so or it's not. I just think certain things are just selfish characteristics, and I cannot stand selfish people, and that's why I don't ask anybody for anything. Number one, because I don't want nobody holding shit over my head, saying if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be able to do it. Or number two, I don't want anybody, when questioning me, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what you need it for? When am I going to get it back? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you rather do, like I said, I have a colorful history, a colorful past. I'd rather go out and make it happen than to sit up here and ask somebody for something so I can be stuck with their questions. Oh, what do you need it for? When am I going to get it back? When this, when that, when that. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to go through that whole road.
I think I was brought up just a little different because when you go to a bank, they running all kind of background checks and make sure your credit. They're trying to see they want to see if they're gonna get that money back or not. You know what I'm saying to you, and I think that from a place of responsibility, the person asking should be willing, kind of like Mike said, to answer whatever questions would make the giver feel a little bit more comfortable. You know what I'm saying to you? Instead of just, I think it's a two-way street of understanding why I need it and why I might have some reservation giving it away. This is definitely a good place for a great conversation to have to see how well you guys communicate in situations like that.
Yeah. I just think sometimes things aren't everybody's business. You know what I'm saying? And if you go to ask somebody, say, hey, I'm in need, can you help me? You know what I'm saying?
The person you're dating, it's not their business why you're asking for it.
I'm not talking about it's probably not, depending on what I'm asking it for. If I'm just coming to you and if I'm saying, hey, can I borrow this? I'm in need, can I borrow it? You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody asking me 5,000 questions about what you need it for, whatever, because hey, I might be borrowing some money to give to my mama to do some embarrassing shit that she need. You know what I'm saying? Or give to my sister or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It may be whatever I need the money for. You know what I mean? It may be an embarrassment to me, or it may be an embarrassment to somebody else, whoever I'm getting them, you know what I'm saying, getting the money for. So if it's an embarrassment to me, or if it's an embarrassment to the other person, I don't want to put nobody on blast. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, hey, can I borrow? I will give it back to you if I even had the borrow. That's why I said I don't ask nobody for, you know what I'm saying, for nothing. But I'm just saying, if it came to that point to where it's saying, hey, I need this. Why do you need it? Because I need it. I will give it back to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Here, you can take this if you want to. Here's some collateral. But I'm asking you because I need it. But for me, if I ever got to that point, you know what I'm saying? Hey, maybe I got some jewelry that I can go and sell, or I got something to sell. I whatever the case may be. I'm not asking. I'm not asking because I don't want nobody questioning me about why I need it. Oh, well, you getting my money, so I got the right to ask you what you need my money for. I'm asking for a loan. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to give it to me, cool. And that's fine. And everybody has their own thought process on what they should do. And if it's okay to ask somebody why they need it and when they're going to get it back, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. I'm just saying in my case, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to ask nobody situations like that. If they ask me to borrow some money and I have it, here, take it. I'm not even loaning it to you. If you give it back to me because you want to give it back to me, cool. But I'm not asking for it back. If you need something here, you need it. You asking me for something because you need it. It's not my process to just, I mean, it's not my, whatever, to just to say, hey, well, what you need it for? When you gonna give it back to me? Blah, blah, blah. If I don't have it to give, I'm not gonna give it.
Got you. I think that even in parameters of what we're discussing is like Drunk said, I feel what you're saying if y'all was just friends, but the problem is y'all dating. And then that goes to a different conversation of like, why are we dating people that we weren't friends with first? I think that, that it's so many different ways this conversation could go. And it's good to see where somebody is, because this is always going to be a fork in the road. You guys are either going to get stronger because of this opportunity to partner, or there's going to be distance because one of y'all don't really understand how the other person could ask or how the other person could not give. So, yeah. Who got the next one, fellas?
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. Let me find something. I saw something earlier that kind of caught my eye. I don't know what it is because I didn't read it, but your title was great.
Let's do it.
All right. Does every man cheat? Or does every man cheat on you? Let me repeat that, please. Does every man cheat? Because I know we hear it all the time. All men cheat. Every man. Does every man cheat, or does every man cheat on you? Is the question that we asking here today.
Well, drink water and mind my business. I'm going to drink water and mind my business.
I'll be the first to say I don't believe that every single man cheats, because I've been in relationships where I didn't cheat at all. I had a great relationship. It ended, but I didn't cheat. And I've been in relationships that were seemingly be good where I did. You know what I mean? I just think that, one, it's a lot of variables that may go into this. It's not just all men cheat thing, and it's not just all men cheat on you thing. To me, you got to look at where this man is mentally, where he is emotionally. You know what I mean? Not saying that any of these reasons give grounds to cheat, but I'm just saying some people are not mentally prepared to be in monogamous relationships, and that's all it is to it. You know what I mean? But no, would I say that all men are just cheaters? Like I hear a lot of women saying, nah, I don't think. I've even heard men say it. Men are not made to be monogamous. And I can get why
but
men
see, we had a conversation. We had a conversation on the show, and we said that it's not about monogamy when you're talking about cheating. Cheating is going against what you promised you were going to do.
Right.
If you get into a monogamous relationship, the expectation and understanding is that there are going to be multiple people that I'm betting.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for the sake of the question, the way I was answering was in terms of, we agreed that I'm gonna only see you and you're only going to see me, and now I'm stepping outside of those terms and conditions.
So check this out. So Drunk said, is this in a context that cheating has to be physical or giving attention to somebody who's not your mate? And as we said on previous shows, whatever you and your person decide is the terms of this exclusivity, then you understand that. But sometimes, you know, some people rely on it goes without saying. You don't do this. Let's not lean on this. It goes without saying. That's where a lot of confusion comes in. Let's not just lean on this. Oh, it goes without saying. Oh, that's just common knowledge. That's just common sense. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Marriage, which is a goal for some people, is actually a contract. So everything that leads up to it are smaller kind of contracts, and contracts are very clear with their verbiage, and they sit down and they have like this mediation of understanding what the verbiage is that we're agreeing upon. So many people are just going into this like we do, you know, on these apps on our phone. We just say yes, okay, sign our name to whatever. What? Vetting multiples in monogamy? Vetting multiples in monogamy. Explain, please. You're looking for more partners to join the festivities?
I think she thought that's what you said. But I don't think that's what you said. I think
vetting multiples in monogamy. So monogamy means that monogamy means you're in a relationship with one person. Apologies for that. Yeah, monogamy means that you're in a relationship with one person. This is the only person you're going to be having one person you're going to be having loyalty and faithfulness to, physically, emotionally. Yeah, gracias. Appreciate that, Sylvia. Made that correction. But here's the thing. When I looked at this post, what came to mind was that we usually answer from our experience, right? So when someone says that all men cheat, I think that a part of that expression is their experience that they're talking about. We just finished having a discussion about loaning people money when you're dating or letting them borrow money when you're dating. I think instinctively we begin to speak from our experience, our personal experience, or our secondhand experience from people that we've been around to form these assumptions or to form these conclusions that come out of our mouths, which is fine because that's how we have conversation. But in the back of our minds, still holding space to maybe learn what I don't really know, or maybe seeing things from a different perspective. Maybe I haven't been exposed to men who don't beat their wives. Maybe I haven't been exposed to women who don't loudmouth when they don't get their way. And being open to be exposed to that may help your perspective when you talk about this topic in the future, saying, hey, I used to feel like all men do cheat, but you know, I was opened up to a conversation with a few guys and I heard their stories, and now I'll just say most men cheat, you know, because that's my reality and that's my experience. And so I always try to hold space for people when they say that, instead of immediately getting upset, because people's experiences shapes their reality. That's their personal reality. That's personality, personal reality. That's how we answer through what we've experienced. And I hold space for the fact that my experience is not somebody else's experience. So their answer is not going to be my answer. I don't have to understand theirs. They don't have to understand mine, but I always try to relate or respect as much as I can.
Yeah.
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 Dub what? Like I said, I see that smile, man. I see that smile.
I'm just listening, man. I was actually looking at the brands to try to find something that we kind of discussed that we sent in the group throughout the week, and I didn't see it, but I don't know if it's there or not. But
on Gang Gang?
Yeah. I think it was on Gang Gang. I don't know if I didn't know if it was a video or if it was a still image. So I don't know. That's why I couldn't find it.
Text me the topic. I'll look for it while y'all carry on the discussion.
All right.
You got the next one, Mike?
Yep.
Go for it. Oh, you talking about the other one that Dub? You was looking for this one, right? That's not what you're looking for?
Golly. She looked like she can make a mean sandwich. That's all I'm saying.
Ain't about $5. Can she borrow $5? She can keep that sandwich. I can't take that ride.
Let's do this. I believe a healthy and safe relationship is one of the best antidepressants in the world. Again, I believe a healthy and safe relationship is one of the best antidepressants in the world. I disagree. Only because I don't look at my relationship to be an antidepressant. You know what I mean? I think that, you know what I mean, I'm gonna go to God first for my antidepressant. I feel like if it's something that I have the internal fortitude to be able to handle myself, I'll do that. And this is just the kind of person I am. I'm not saying that this is the right, but I don't want to bring all of my stuff and then dump it on my partner. Like, here, help me deal with this. I don't feel like, for me, I'm being a good partner. Now, should I allow my partner to help? Yes, of course. But I just don't feel like I'm going to use my relationship as an antidepressant. Does it feel good to be in a healthy relationship? Yes. Does it help relieve some of the stress? Yes. But I'm not looking for my relationship to be that important.
So I'll say this. I kind of agree with the post. A healthy relationship, I believe a healthy and safe relationship is one of the best antidepressants in the world. And I definitely agree with that, because when you're in a healthy relationship like that, it brings out things in you. It releases I don't know if you want to call it endorphins, if you want to call it whatever, but it keeps you in such a good place of peace. And even when the world around you is just so crazy and just whatever, it allows you, when you have that partner, that teammate, like a healthy relationship, and that you guys are happy with each other and like extremely happy, like genuinely happy with each other, it makes you feel like you're on a high. It makes you feel like you're on that high all the time. It's like the same thing. Like, you can have a wonderful day, and then the right person say the wrong thing, and now your whole day is fucked up. Or, you know what I'm saying, you could be having a horrible day, and then the right person say the right thing, and now you floating on cloud nine. So I believe, having a healthy relationship like that will help in a lot of areas, and it may be that thing that you need that's going to get you through those tough times, where it is a antidepressant.
I say it like this, man. The understanding, I was in one of my best relationships ever and was depressed as F. That's definitely possible too. And I say it from this perspective. Every emotion releases a chemical into the body. When I was doing the depression groups, it was the thoughts that they had that triggered the emotion, that told the brain something, that told it to release a certain chemical into the body to help itself preserve. Sometimes that's why people shut down. It's a defense mechanism of the body to not go into a state of deterioration, right? And so every emotion you have with this person, if it's when you hear their voice, or what I'm saying, when they pick you up, they're not with the BS. You talk to them and it's like, oh, I know I'm about to have a good conversation. I know it's about to be fun, or I know this. Your body is now picking up on these receptors based on your thoughts about this person. Is releasing these really feel good chemicals. If you've been in a good relationship before, where you don't even need you don't even have the same habits anymore, because all the time, sometimes we have certain habits and hobbies so that we can get certain chemicals released into our body to make us feel better. Yeah. But a good relationship can cause you to give that stuff up, because what you're really looking for is that chemical. Some people find it in violence. Some people find it in smoking. They can find it, on social media. But if you find a healthier way to get that same chemical through a healthy relationship, it could be a form of an antidepressant, because a lot of times what you do for someone who is depressed, you put them on a medicine so that medicine can cause a chemical reaction in their body. But there's a way that can be done through relationships.
Now, let me ask you this, though. Is that a Band-Aid or is that a fix for the depression? Because I feel like that's just a Band-Aid. In this moment, I'm with this person, I'm great. But when they leave, when they go on their way, I'm sitting in my room in the dark, crying my eyes out. To me, that's not a helpful situation. That's just a Band-Aid.
So here's where I think it could be a fix. So it comes down to the meditation after. Of course, your time with that person is a moment, right? But your meditations is what allows the depression to continue, or resolves or dissolves the depression. Meditation. So what do you think? Meditation on, like, if you have this time with this person and now you become dependent on them in order for that chemical to get released in it, then that's an issue. But like for me, I can sit back and think about past relationships and moments we've had, and that same chemical gets released inside of me. So now I'm actually healed and whole, because I have something that will stay with me forever, and that's that memory. And I can tap into that anytime that I want to, and it can be my forever aid in the midst whenever depression tries to sneak in.
I get that. I think that is number one. I think that's great when people can do that. But I know I've been involved in, I've heard stories of, people that are, severely depressed, that get with these great people, or they become friends with them. Let's not even just stick to the romantic aspect. They're just friends with them, and then that the depressed person becomes dependent on that person in order to feel, less depressed or not depressed anymore or happy. So now, now you have a situation to where it's getting to be toxic because, you're becoming a leech. You want to drain me of all of my positivity. You want to drain me of all of this to make you feel better. You know what I mean? But in relationships, it has to be a two-way street.
And I think that goes back to the person. No one ever overcomes depression without learning how to find wholeness within themselves. It's not about finding the next drug or the next person that can make me feel better. That's why people who are addicted to sex try to use that as a tool. But in depression, it always comes back to being able to find wholeness within yourself, being able to utilize your intentional mind to create the wholeness that you need. If that means changing your perspective about the incident that caused you to be depressed in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, you have control. You have more control over the chemicals that are released in your body than you believe sometimes. And if that's not told to the person, then they're going to cling on to whatever the medication is that makes them feel better. But you have to help them and show them. I'm not saying that's the role of your partner either, or the role of your friend. This is why we give out that number at the end of every episode. People can call and talk to a therapist or a counselor or get into a support group. People can expose you to the fact that, there's self-work you can do that you can then self-regulate whenever these feelings come about.
Yep. That's a fact. It's a fact. It's good stuff.
All right, fellas. Well, it is halftime, and if you don't know, if you don't know, now you know, fellas. I just want to say, man, that was a really good first half, man. We got a whole nother hour to go, but that was really solid information, and exposure, man. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, what was your favorite part of the show so far? Can you throw that in the chat? And I'm not saying that just for us to see it for ourselves, but people come back and watch these videos throughout the week, and they see the comments. And sometimes, again, you highlighting that in the comments can be the thing that really helped them that week. So put your favorite part of the show so far in the chat. So somebody coming looking at this week or maybe a month from now can see that, and maybe that can be the thing that they needed to see highlighted. Fellas, y'all got anything?
No.
Not just the usual, if anybody is not yet, Donovan, God, oh, this boy can't wait. If anybody is not already following us on our socials, Facebook, and as well as IG, and also YouTube, maybe this will help the podcast. Please do so. Share with a friend, follow. We appreciate the follows. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate, like Donnie said, the comments. Because a lot of times, you guys, the stuff that you put in the comments may alter the way we've been thinking as well. It's not just we're just here to only listen to each other and anything like that. Like we definitely want you guys to tap in. We want you guys to participate. So thus far, we appreciate you guys. And if you guys can just share all of those socials that I just gave, it's a good look.
And if you believe in what we're doing,
wait, hold on. Why Dub sitting back with the cool light skin? You know what I'm saying?
Why I gotta be light skinned? Why I gotta be light skinned?
You right.
That's his freedom. That's his freedom face, man.
You right.
My brother just free.
When I said it, I was like, it don't have nothing to do with light skin. My bad. You right.
That brother is free skinned, man. He free skinned. Leave that man alone.
I'm just sitting waiting on these videos to come because I'm looking at one that I want to play.
You can start it. You can start it, bro. You throw the. Hold on, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe in what we're doing here, we have a Cash App. You can donate to the cause, keep us online, keep us on the airways, and help us expand our reach. Go to our Cash App, $ maybe this will help. $ maybe this will help. If you don't have Cash App, you can go to maybe this will help the podcast at Gmail. And let us know. We could talk to you about Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, the postal system. All those different means of getting the donations to, P.O. Box, whatever it is. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna make a way. I remember one of my mentors told me one time, always have a place for people to donate into what you're doing. All right.
See,
Why is
AJ?
Dub sitting there all beautiful like that? Bro, that's how you're waiting for that sandwich.
Listen.
So checks out Drunk said explaining y'all state of mind to begin was great. The check-ins that we do at the beginning. Portia said favorite part of the show, loaning a partner or someone you're dating money. Okay. Amber thinks that Errol is beautiful. Portia said Apple Pay. That's about to be my favorite part because we definitely have that. Yeah. We'll discuss the we'll discuss the Apple Pay. Shoot me a DM. I'll let you know how to do that directly. Yep. All right. These brothers gonna make sure that money makes it to the account. I got you. Don't trip. All right. With all that being said and done, I mean, be honest, man. Like honestly, people have told me the stuff that we share on this show, it's hard to find this anywhere. A lot of people don't get this in their friendships and in their relationships and in their circles. They don't get these kind of conversations at work, you know what I'm saying, in their social settings. Like this is really valuable information, you know what I'm saying, that we're not charging for it, but we do give people an opportunity to donate to help us stay on the airwaves and keep us, you know what I'm saying, in the understanding that this is not only helping, but we can actually help more people with more resources if we get them. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right. My favorite part of it all is Errol's fun language. With that being said, Dub, take it away.
Hey, we about to start this second half. Interesting. You guys know this second half is videos. So it's time for some videos. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Not sure.
I may piss some people off with this right now, but whatever. Who cares? Whatever.
Maybe
Don't care. Yeah. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bam.
But here's my problem, right? Women value tradition when it's in their benefit. So they value tradition when it comes to a man having to propose to them. But they won't value a traditional man when he says, hey, you got to sit in the house and cook and clean. So like you can't pick and choose the parts of the tradition that you're going to stick by and stand by. If you're going to be open-minded, you have to be open-minded to all.
Yep.
Go ahead. I'll let you take it away, E.
He ready.
I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that again. Hold on. It's only 21 seconds.
But here's my problem, right? Women value tradition when it's in their benefit. So they value tradition when it comes to a man having to propose to them. But they won't value a traditional man when he says, hey, you got to sit in the house and cook and clean. So like you can't pick and choose the parts of the tradition that you're going to stick by and stand by. If you're going to be open-minded, you have to be open-minded to all.
Yep. So
Go ahead, Doug. Take it away, man.
listen. I like that he said that, and that dude get a lot of flack on that. You know what I'm saying? He people always trying to come for his head.
Oh, he's somebody who does that often.
Yeah, they had like a little show, you know what I mean, and they always talk stuff like that. But people are always on his head for his opinion about things. But I 100% agree. You know, it's like a lot of times people, like women, want the traditional man. They want the man to protect and provide, and you know, and I laugh and joke about my sandwich or whatever. But it's like, you know, people, you know, a lot of women, they want that traditional man. They want him to be chivalrous. They want him to open doors. They want him to pump the gas. They want him to protect. They want him to provide. They want him to be this strong man. But what are you doing as a woman? You want this traditional man, but do you want to do those traditional things? Do you want, if your man says he's hungry, are you gonna get up in the middle of the night to feed him, to fix him some food because he's hungry? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna be in the house making sure that house is tended to? You know what I'm saying? When he tells you, hey, as that traditional man, he's taking care of everything. If he tell you, hey, I don't feel like hearing that shit, shut up. Are you gonna shut up? You know what I'm saying? You want these benefits when it comes to traditional. Oh, men do this, do that. But when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, traditional stuff, how women were, are you going to be a traditional woman? You know, and it doesn't have to just go, you know, and I'm talking about the shut the fuck up thing. It doesn't have to be extreme like that, but it's just, you know, it is, man. It's like women want the traditional when it's in their benefit. You know, women want to be taken care of, want to be spoiled, and not all of them. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this to everybody. I'm just talking about this particular point. right? Because not every woman is not like that. So I don't want it to seem like I'm just coming down on everybody's head, because I'm not. But when we have this, when, you know what I'm saying, when this conversation is taking place, that's all that's talked about. It's always talked about what the man is supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Women don't get checked. Women don't check other women about what the women are supposed to do in these situations. Why aren't women checking other women on their role in this? Why is it always just talked about what a man ain't doing, what he's supposed to do? Oh, you niggas is lame. Oh, you know what I'm saying, you this, you a broke nigga because you ain't tricking off on this and off that. Why aren't you women checking each other about, hey, yeah, men are to do this and that, but as a woman, you're supposed to do this, and this too.
Yeah, no, I understand. I think the biggest part that stuck out to me in the video for me was when he said that you can't pick and choose the parts of tradition that you want to abide by, and that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? If we're not going to have a traditional relationship, cool, we're not going to have one. If we are, then cool, we are. Or if we both decide together, these are the parts we want to take out of this type of relationship, these are the parts we want to leave alone, that's fine too. But to be two-sided or have a double standard, it can't work like that. Like, the relationship just can't work if it's a double standard. Now, if we agree upon some stuff, go ahead, bro.
I think that what it is does come down to the agreement. One, traditional is not common knowledge what that even means. People have their own definition, their own perspective of what traditional looks like. And so that needs to be the first discussion. You want traditional, let's actually discuss what tradition, slavery tradition, early American tradition, the 70s, the 60s, what era? Let's try to identify a little bit more. Adam and Eve, caveman, what tradition might you be talking about? You know what I'm saying? I think that clarity helps people understand what they're getting into. But again, you get into these situations where, it just goes without saying, a traditional man who practices chivalry, and I'm going to have me a southern belle. Like, those things are so loose. Get into the details of it. And two, he said that she can't, choose that she wants this tradition and then not that part of tradition. Yes, she can choose whatever she wants. You don't have to choose her. People have the right to choose whatever they want, alter, customize whatever they want to whatever their liking is, and you don't have to like it. And you can just say, oh, that's how you do things. Okay, cool. That's just not for me. I think that when we feel imposed upon by somebody else's request, we have to remember that we don't have to do it. We don't have to be in that relationship. We don't have to succumb to whatever it is they're asking. We can always say, oh, I didn't know that's what y'all did here. I'm going to leave. I think our immediate reaction is like, no, it has to be done this way. No, it has to be done this way. Actually, y'all both right. It can be done however y'all. This is your life. Live it how you want to. My choice comes into play is if I'm going to partner with you in that or not. I can always step away. And if I feel like I'm going to tell you my opinion is that, well, ain't no other relationship going to work for you living out your life that way, having all these demands, I could be wrong. I can be wrong as rain. Somebody out there might like that. So I'm just going to let you live your life, give you my piece of wisdom and insight based on what I do know. And you could apply it to wherever it's applicable in your life. I see it as damaging. I see it as toxic. I see it as, something that's going to really hurt you in the future. And all that, I could still be wrong.
So if that's the case, then none of us ever have any wisdom or knowledge on any subject or circumstance, because we can have our opinion. If we think it's wisdom or knowledge, it may not be, because that may not apply. So in that aspect, it's not wisdom or knowledge. It's just an opinion. It's just your thoughts, your say so, your take on whatever it is.
And that's why the Bible says that true wisdom comes from God. Because we would have to live our lives out in totality, and then look back and see, was that really knowledge or not? Was that bad pizza the night before? What was that? True knowledge only comes from God, the creator of all things, who sits outside of time and tells you through his Holy Spirit what is, what isn't.
Yeah. Hey, listen, bro. Freedom. I keep on talking about this because I keep on trying to acquire more and more knowledge about what works for me, what makes me feel a certain way, what bothers me. And then the first thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to check myself. Okay, why does this bother me? Why do I feel this way about it? You're absolutely right. You don't have to stay in no situation. You do what works for you. Sometimes you're doing yourself a disservice by just saying, "Oh, well, this don't work for me," and you canceling out people who could be good for you. You canceling out,
Maybe.
and you never know. You know what I mean? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you don't want to change who you are. Maybe you like the way you are, and maybe things has been working out fine for you. Or maybe things haven't been working out fine for you, but you just too damn stubborn to even check yourself about the situation and want to change because you saying, "Oh well, no, it got to be somebody out there that's going to accept me for me," and blah blah blah. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe we need to just, you know what I'm saying, look at the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror and say, you know what, damn, maybe I do need to fix some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not the best version of myself that I could be, and maybe I'm just so stuck in my pride and my arrogance and my ego that I'm not allowing myself to grow.
Maybe we need to let people bowl their own balls, man. It just reminds me of going to the bowling alley. I don't bowl well. Kerry is an Olympic bowler. I've been with him and his friends, and they're bowling for points. I'm bowling for fun. I know I'm not gonna get anywhere in the triple digits when I bowl. So if I bowl one between my legs and I do the Fred Flintstone and I try a trick shot, don't get mad at me and want to come bowl my ball for me because I'm not hitting the pins. Maybe that's not even my goal. Some people's goal in life is not your goal in life. They're not living life for the same reasons you live in life. Some people ain't trying to, I'm trying to get married and have this and build this whole empire in this team. Some people out here just like, you know what, I want to see what my limits are today. And that's why I love that freedom piece he's talking about. You know, there is parameters of what's civilized because, you know, when people start taking guns and shooting up other people and, you know, even that can, okay, are they free? They're free to do whatever they want. But you live in a civilization that you side upon when you got your birth certificate and all the rest of that kind of stuff that you would be a law-abiding citizen in certain places.
Right.
But
So
what
you
I'm
can't be free.
huh?
So what we're saying is you can't be free. There are
What I'm
rules
saying is
out.
that you need to be aware of what parts of life you signed away certain freedoms. That's
Okay.
when it comes from, like being a caveman to being more civilized. You seen those movies where it's, oh, they're so uncivilized. Like they're not living according to the parameters that a group of people said, this is how we live life as humans. And a lot of times we're signing our names to live a certain way without even recognizing that's what we're agreeing to. It's like when you buy a house and there's a homeowners association fee. You're signing that paper saying, I'm going to upkeep my yard and my front wall and everything that reflects the neighborhood a certain way. That happens so many times in life, and we don't recognize that's what we're signing up for. When you put your children in school, the parent has to sign a paper that is specific to the child's needed behavior to stay in that space. They're signing away certain freedoms. You don't get up and talk when the teacher is talking. You don't do this and do that, even though you had a freedom to. And those are the things that we have to be aware of that we're doing daily with our freedoms.
Okay, so with that being the case, just thinking about that, just random popping in my mind. So when you're in a relationship, you sign away certain freedoms.
Depending on what you guys agreed upon.
Yeah, but you're still signing away certain freedoms. So at that point, you know what I mean? Once you enter that commitment and you guys agree upon certain freedoms or lack thereof, you're signing away on those things. You're agreeing to do those things. So at that point, you're not free to do whatever you want to. You're free to do whatever you want to at that point, but then that doesn't mean that relationship is going to be sustained after your quote unquote freedom, or you doing whatever you want.
You have to define freedom. Or freedom is a responsibility.
So I love this. This is what Amber Jellen just said, and I love this. I 100% agree. The only place to truly be free is where you're able to love. I like that so much because of the space that I'm in right now and understanding how free love really is and how we put these boundaries and restrictions and bondage on each other based on you got to do this, you got to say this. Oh, these are my expectations. This is what my pride says. This is what my ego says. This is what my arrogance says. This is what my expectation says. This is what my opinion says. And all those things is just it's bondage. And just to be able to just have that love, just free love. Yeah.
So even inside of that, what about embracing? I think you said in the beginning of the show, embracing where you are and the fact that you have relapses and that, yes, love is free and you understand to a certain degree. But even in that understanding, there are times where I'm still fighting within myself to live in that freedom. Some days I love love, and then some days I struggle with seeing its importance.
Absolutely.
And I think that holding space for us to have that human experience or that human experiment with love through relationships is another part of the freedom component.
And I think holding yourself accountable, even in that, even when you are in pursuit of freedom, right? And you do something to jeopardize that freedom. It's not just holding space for other people. The grace for other people is holding space for the grace for yourself. You know, even knowing that, and then accepting responsibility and accountability, knowing that you are the one who messed up that freedom. No, it's like, wow, I had a good situation and we are free, and I just did this because of my thoughts, my conclusions, everything that I'm coming up in my head. I messed up the freedom that we had,
bro. So this is a good question from Drunk.
I was just about to tap that. No, go ahead. That's what I was about to put up.
Drunk said, do y'all feel like you have to sacrifice some of your personal happiness to be in a relationship? Go ahead, Mike, you go first.
No, okay. So for me, I would have to say, no, you shouldn't have to. I feel like the happiness in a relationship should be a shared thing, right? So if I see you're doing something that makes you happy, and I may, like, for instance, say I love going to the gym. That's what makes me happy. And I go at 6 to 8, but then I got a girl and she's going through law school and she's in class from 6 to 8. But I know that's important to her. For me personally, the type of man I am in a relationship, if I see that's going to make you happy, I gladly and happily put myself on the back burner, because I know this is what's going to make you happy, and that makes me happy with you being happy. And then when you're finished, then I can, then I have my turn to do what I could do. But I don't feel like you should have to sacrifice your happiness to be in a relationship. No.
All right. My response to this, do y'all feel like you have to sacrifice some of your personal happiness to be in a relationship? I say, yeah. I think I actually look forward to it because I believe there's levels to it. I believe that, base foundation, happiness, top foundation, joy, bliss, euphoria, right? And so I'm looking forward to taking what I've learned and understand to be happiness in my own personal space for what I believe will be greater in a shared space in my partnership.
So
is it a risk? Huh?
Where's the sacrifice then? What you're saying?
Sacrifice by definition is when there's more than one thing you want and you give up one for the other. So I still want my happiness. The gamble is that I believe that there's something greater. So I'm willing to let this go. That's not a sacrifice?
Yeah.
No, it sounds like exactly what I said, but I guess in my mind I didn't see it. It doesn't feel like a sacrifice to me, because it makes me happy.
How should a sacrifice feel though?
Well, to me, because the Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice, so I've always looked at it as something negative. To me, but I'm just saying though.
Yeah, I got you.
So to me, when I'm in a relationship and I'm doing something, I know I could go out and do this and have fun and do this, but my lady wants to go do this, and that's what makes her happy. And one of my goals is to enhance her happiness. And so if she could go out and do that, cool. I'm happy with it. I'm at home smiling, happy that she come home smiling. That's great. That's a great feeling. So I don't see it as a sacrifice.
All right, so check this out.
All right.
You a whore.
Okay.
You listen, you a whore. You like being a whore. That's your personal happiness, like being a whore, right?
Yeah.
You get in a relationship. Are you going to sacrifice your personal happiness of being a whore for that relationship? Are you going to say, nope, nope, I care about you, baby, but I like to be a whore, so that personally makes me happy?
Just direct your whoredom to one person.
Some people don't. Some people stay being a whore while they're in a relationship.
That's what cheating is. But you're right. You're right. But I mean, it's certain things that you do give up, for relationships. You know what I'm saying? You be in a relationship, you can ride motorcycles and love riding motorcycles, right? And then you get with somebody that you love, that you really care about, that you enjoy spending time with, and she like, babe, you know what? It makes me feel a certain way every time you leave the house on that bike. I'm nervous. I'm just all crazy. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm always looking at the news and just trying to make sure, you know, this accident happened and blah, blah, blah. And I'm always worried. Are you going to give up that bike? You know what I'm saying? Which one do you want more? Do you want your relationship? Do you want that bike?
I guess it all depends on how. I guess it all depends on how people view what sacrifices really are. In my opinion, you know what I mean? Because go ahead.
No, you got it.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
For me, sacrifice is an opportunity to show you where my priorities are.
So by showing you where my so when I choose when I choose you as a priority over myself, that would be the actual sacrifice.
I think when I'm choosing a certain act, for instance, I'll sacrifice sleep because my child is sick and I want to sit by them and make sure they're okay. I'm showcasing to you my priority.
Okay.
I would love some sleep. I want it. But I'm showcasing to you that right now, my responsibility, my commitment to care for you is my priority over my desire to sleep.
Okay.
Or I like to sleep. When I get off of work, I want to take a nap. But now I can't take a nap. That's my personal happiness. I can't take a nap now because I need to go get that second job to make sure we good. Or I just need to take that time to, you know what I'm saying, spend with you, because even though I love my nap, I know this is a window of opportunity that we're going to have to be able to spend some time together.
I hear what you guys are saying. I think
sleep is my happiness.
I hear what you guys are saying. I just, again, for me and the type of person I am, I view making sacrifices as a positive thing for me, and the way I think mentally. Like, man, I did make that sacrifice, but I did it for the betterment of my family, and that makes me feel better as a man, as a person, across the board. So I don't see it as, and maybe Drunk can kind of tap in. Were you saying sacrifice in a negative sense, like because a lot of people, like I just mentioned, he could have been in a negative way. Because a lot of people, when they hear sacrifice, they think like, oh shit, I gotta, you know what I mean? But sometimes, like for me, it's not always a negative thing.
Yeah. All right. Somebody texted me. They said you have to trust in order to sacrifice. Trusting that whatever is lost will have a benefit. And my response back to them was, do you have to trust in order to sacrifice, or would it be nice to trust before you sacrifice? Is it a requirement?
I think it would make it easier, but I don't think it's a requirement.
Yeah, it might make you feel a little better about it, but I don't think it's a requirement, because remember, like the one quote said, at the end of the day, you got to answer to God for the things you did and did not do. At the end of the day, if he put you on assignment and you got in your feelings midway through the assignment about something you thought wasn't fair, so be it. But when it's all said and done, you got to give an answer, because he gave you every resource and ability to do what he called you to do, and you just chose not to for a personal reason.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right. Let's get to it. Mike, you want to pick another video?
No, that's on you.
It's on me. All right. Let's go with this one.
Definitely. You gotta have a girl like that. See, me, she gotta have her nails done, her feet done. I don't play that. I do not play that.
Hold on. Your nails not even done.
Yeah, dirty. But here, so it really don't matter. It don't matter.
Like, baby, don't come around me if your hair ain't done.
Oh my God!
Like, don't.
I hate that.
Stop around me.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying.
Like, look, I'm the catch. Why would I fuck with you if you can't even do that?
Oh God.
That's the simplest thing. Why would I fuck with you if you can't do that? You feel me?
It'd be the simplest. Wow.
You got any extra change so I can get to Arizona? For me, and the first thing I look at, bro, I look at her teeth. She can't be missing no Teeth, bro.
Bro, what?
Yucking off ass. Ah! For real.
So the title of that video was asking for what you ain't giving. So how y'all fellas feel about people, or have you ever been the person to have all these high standards of presentation and all this other kind of stuff, but you don't even occupy the space for that kind of self-care within yourself?
We can't
hear you, Mike.
I said I've never been that guy to have all of these. I'm not saying they're ridiculous because people can have whatever standards they want to have with a partner. But I've never.
What are some of your standards, bro? I'm interested.
We talking about the video right now, brother. What was our safe word?
Not today.
Not today, Satan. But no, yeah, I just because I know I have a lot of flaws. So like basically what the video is saying, like I can't expect somebody to have all of this stuff because I don't want anybody to be able to be expecting all of this stuff from me. I want to be able to step into a relationship and we both just be comfortable with each other without all the bullshit.
So you want a girl, for instance, with a body, with a tight body, right? But you ain't really in the gym like that. But does it need to be mirrored? Like just because I ain't in the gym like that, my thing is fashion. It's not fitness. You know what I'm saying to you? So do you think that it needs to match like that? Because me, ankle army, all day long. I don't like my ankles. Does that have anything to do with my desire for a nice pair of shaven ankles?
I think people can like I said, I think people can like
the body butter on them, with a nice tattoo and an anklet,
Wow.
Sticking out the top of a low top tennis shoe. What?
All right. So ladies,
okay,
in the comments,
sorry, my bad.
He's telling you what he's into. So
yeah, he not about to pimp me out. Go ahead, Dub. What you? I just had a moment, man.
That's funny.
I think a lot of times, and we kind of talked about this before in a relationship or on a show about, different people wanting certain things in relationships that they're not even willing to give. Like, you want me to be a certain way. You want me to be sentimental and giving and compassionate and open and loyal and trustworthy and all these things, but you're not even giving these things. You want me to be sensitive, but you're not even giving me these things. You want me to show love unconditional, but you're not even giving these things. So it's some of those things as far as characteristics, and it's also personal physical traits. You want somebody who's working out and who has a nice body, but your body is sloppy as shit. And don't you
see those kind of people together often though?
Yeah, but that's what I was just not about to say. It's one thing to want that, but it's another thing to say it has to be like that, but say, hey, I'm not gonna worry about doing that. Meaning like you say, oh, I need my woman to take care of herself and work out and blah blah blah, and I don't want her to have no stomach and whoop whatever, but you got a big ass stomach. You know what I'm saying?
And she liked the dad bod.
And she liked the dad bod. You know what I'm saying? She could like the dad bod. Or she could be like, okay, yeah, you want me to work on my stomach, but I need you to work on yours too. And you like, I'm good where I'm at. Like, what?
Yeah. It's interesting though, because I think about things that I like, like ankles and eyebrows and eyes and stuff like that. None of which I'm fond of upon my own self. But I feel like sometimes we can really sabotage our own selves, thinking that the person that we're interested in is gonna want those same things, that we're gonna have the same interest.
Right.
I asked this question a while ago. I said, say for instance, you met your dream come true. Why would your dream come true want you? And it was a question because we usually have this long list of things that we want in this person, or maybe sometimes just short, very important things we want. But if you met that person, that it was your dream come true, why would your dream come true want you? And it gives you a chance to kind of self-reflect, not to mirror the same desire that you want another person to have them accessible within yourself, but to start to understand where your true value lies. Because if you're with this person for any extended amount of time, God bless you with 50 years of marriage, things are going to change. Gravity is going to come knocking at your door. you know, and say, hey, I'm here to stay. But what is it about you that you feel like would be able to sustain this person, that will remind them of this is one of the best places to be on earth, within this connection and this is just unity with me. And I use that even like in day-to-day stuff with people when it comes like the birthdays and holidays, and you buy people gifts. You usually end up buying people what you want them to have instead of what they want, and then you get mad when they don't have the reaction that you wanted them to have, because that's not even what they asked for. Oftentimes we're trying to do something so outlandish and big that looks good in front of everybody else, instead of doing the thing that means something to that actual person. I know girls who don't, so many of them do not care about a brother with a six-pack. That is not on their top priority list. What you got up? No abs, please. See, I'm falling right into that. Just
you know, it's interesting about what you just now said, because I find it to be true. You know, you're trying to put this grand finale for somebody, and that's not even what they want. Like I remember, you know, dating somebody, and you know, she did this little so-called party for me, and most of the people at the party I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this big old spectacular thing just for her to, you know what I'm saying, to look. And I told her, I'm like you did all that shit for you. You know what I'm saying? Because the cold part about it is, the thing that I got the most excited off of was the fruit snacks that she got me. You know what I'm saying? And I spent all this money doing this and doing that. I didn't ask you to do that. You know what I'm saying? You did all that for show. You did all that for show for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Having this party, but I didn't know these people at this party. So how is it a party for me? Are you doing it for me, or are you doing it for show just to say, oh, I did this for you and I didn't? No, I don't care about none of that stuff.
I like it. I had where did she put it? Portia says she loves this. I'm thinking she's referring to this conversation. What part of this conversation is it that you're really resonating with? Because I feel like we haven't really touched this deeply on this topic before. So I'm trying to see where everybody's at with this. Ha! Drunk said, I got a uncle who is a bodybuilder. He only dates big women. Sometimes people want the opposite of them.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
For real.
Listen.
Sometimes people don't want to lay their head on the hard ass six pack.
Right. And as a man, you know what I'm saying, as much as I try to take care of my body, I got places that I want to, you know, enhance, obviously get better, still continue to work out. But as much as I try to take care of my body, you know what I'm saying, I do not want no hard body woman. You know what I'm saying? I want some thick thighs. You know what I mean? I want when her walk, you know what I'm saying, I can see her butt jiggle. Don't get no tight ass. I don't want to see no tight ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no ass that you can bounce a quarter off of. No, I want the jiggle. I want when I just smack it, it's going to be fine. Okay. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
this brother want a puddle. He want a puddle ass. He just
man. Take care of yourself, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you don't get hurt, but no, I don't want no hard body woman to where it's just like, man, you know what I'm saying? Your legs is tighter than mine. So,
Let me tell you, this one time at band camp, me and Dub was working out at the gym. And there was this thick Asian girl that we were working out with, talking to. Me and her was having discussion, you know, doing squats and whatnot. I almost always have on shorts at the gym. Always showing my legs off. Dub usually has on sweatpants. This brother heard our conversation. He politely walked over there, pulled his sweatpants up to his thigh to show off his hairy, ashy legs, and proceeded to smile.
Yep.
And I promise you, she wanted him. I promise you 1,000%. Sometimes the people who be doing the most thinking like, oh, yeah, I'm about to get her, who just be SOL, because that's not even what she's looking for. And I've noticed that with people who try to get my attention. It's like, man, you are missing it by a mile.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, it's on you now. You ready for one or?
Yep. Had to pop that Claritin. Sheesh.
I got $5 on which one you gonna pick.
Do you?
Yep.
I think the stigma for black men is they look at it as, well, either this is gonna make me look crazy or it's soft and emotional. My thing is, I try to tell them, therapy is a tool to kind of handle your everyday life, to how to navigate life.
Right.
Whether you want to be better in your relationship, whether you want a better relationship with your kids, maybe there's a incident in your past that maybe you haven't gotten over that maybe has shaped who you are today. What about trauma? Like, I'm from New York. I can't tell you how many black men have been killed last summer and so far this summer. We don't even deal with that. That's not normal. All we do is we put an RIP post up, yo, that's my man, and then it happens again and again and again. Yo, we don't talk about that at all. That's trauma that we don't address because it's normal. I don't say it's normalized, but it's unfortunate. Look how many rappers and people have been killed in the last year and a half, last 2 years.
Right.
So what I'm trying to tell people is an hour a week or every 2 weeks can help you, navigate your life. It can help you calm down. It gives you a safe space to have a conversation, to be held accountable for things, and how to be better, be a better friend, be a better partner, whatever it is, be better every day.
Right.
So that's what therapy is about. It's not about a session where you in there crying and
Right,
sobbing around.
right.
It's a tool. It's a tool.
I like his take on.
Good sir.
I like his take on what therapy is. A lot of people see it as, you got to go in there and tell all your personal business and cry and do all this stuff. And sometimes all of that does happen, but for the most part, for me, it's just been able to talk to somebody, number one, that has no stake in who you were in your past, who you are in your future. They just want to get you to see where you are now, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's not about, oh, well, I know you used to be like this, like this, like that. You know what I mean? You just go in and you just really talk. And it's like having a regular conversation. And in that talking, you're able to see certain things that maybe you didn't see before. And then from their professional aspect, they're able to offer some type of guidance or some type of remedy even to where, things may be fixed. Of course, you got to do your own work. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, for me personally, therapy has been a game changer. And I'm not saying that, it's by no means has it made me perfect, or I don't have bad days or anything like that, but it's allowed me to open up and unlock things within myself that, I questioned for a very long time. Why am I almost always angry? Why do I lash out? Why this, why that, why that? And just having these conversations every time I go, it's just enabled me to see a lot. And now I can navigate and kind of figure out some things on my own. Like, okay, I see that from a distance now. It's not right up on me, and now all of a sudden I see it's coming down the road. Let me navigate this way, or let me attack it head on if I need to. But as opposed to before therapy, it was just like I'm just figuring out on the fly. I don't know why all of this is happening, it's fucking happening, and hopefully I get the answer right.
I think that for me, life is going to continue to be like a guessing game, whether you have therapy or not. I think that the more tools and insight that you can add to your toolkit to help you come up with what would be the best solution for you, you want to gather those things. You want to gather the insight. And you never know, it could come from a professional therapist. It can come from the homeless man on the corner. But again, I believe that oftentimes God is guiding us to talk to certain people. And it's up to us if we're going to ignore that inkling, that conviction, whatever you want to call it, to go and have a conversation with somebody. It could be a relative or it could be a stranger. But I do believe that one of the greatest benefits, like my grandfather always told me, he said one of the most valuable things you can have in this life is a relationship with someone. He said take those things very serious because you get access to their life. All the things that they've been through, their experiences, now you get that secondary data or knowledge about another way life could be. And the more information you collect about life, the better the more equipped you are to kind of manipulate and maneuver this thing to the experiences that you really want to have. How would I have known about this degree of freedom had I not exposed myself and had relationship and conversation with people about, oh, I didn't even know that was possible. It goes back to my younger days when I used to play video games. until I sat with somebody who got to level 11, I thought that level 6 was the ish. Until I met with somebody like, oh, there's more to this whole component. There's more to this game. There's more to this puzzle. And for me, that was exciting. You may not be looking for more. You may be looking for depth. But whatever it is, I think that through relationships, you get exposure to other people's experiences, and that's just valuable. And you get to walk with somebody, like the Bible says, that, you know, you can watch each other's backs. You know what I'm saying? One who falls in the ditch and he's by himself, woe to him. But when you're with someone, when you have a partner that you're with, they can help you out of situations that, yeah, you could probably get out of yourself. But after a certain amount of time and energy have lapsed, there will be maybe some other things you're no longer will have access to.
Real quick before he says his piece, I just want to kind of tap into what Drunk said. I avoided therapy because I don't like the idea of paying to talk to somebody, but the way bro just explained it is convincing me. And the thing about it is, I was before I started therapy, I was like anti-therapy. Like, I'm not gonna go talk to nobody. Basically the same thing you said, pay somebody just to sit there and talk, and we got to discuss feelings, and they're not gonna really understand where I'm coming from. And just all the excuses in the world that I had before I went. And again, I'm not saying that therapy is the only way to, like Donnie just said, there's definitely other avenues that people can seek to get the help that they want. But for me, therapy has really helped because I realized that it was something that I felt, number one, that I couldn't talk to just everybody and anybody about, and number two, the professional stance that was taken just really, it just really opened up my eyes. And sometimes, what I mean, you can talk to your boys and they can, make you feel better and they can understand, and you can feel safe and you can feel heard. But the professional aspect of it, to where they can tell you, okay, well, this is usually caused from XYZ. Have you ever thought about XYZ? And now you're thinking about it like, damn, that is that. And now you can go back to situations where I'm talking about fucking 5 years old, 6 years old, with situations with my mom that never ever came up until I was in therapy, and it's just like light bulbs going off like all over the place, man. So you know what I'm saying? It's definitely something to look into. I'm not saying, what I mean, this is the only thing that'll work, by no means, but I'm definitely an advocate for it.
It's like Dub is an electrician. And for me, I love to see people who are well skilled in their craft. It's like, therapists usually understand psychology and how the brain works, and the relationship of the psychology, the physiological part of our bodies, and the brain, the body, and the behavior relationship. Like Dub understands electricity and all the conduits and everything else like that. Even if you just have that person in your life that you can ask questions about, how does this work? Why, when I'm around this person, do I feel this way? And they can help you understand without even giving you advice, just help you understand. Sometimes that's the biggest flex right there.
Agreed.
Dub?
For me, I say people have to do what works for them.
For sure.
A lot of times I hear people speaking on the fear of therapy and why people don't go to therapy, and talks about that, about how therapy is needed for everybody. And I really don't know how to feel about that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how people say everybody needs to go to college. No, they don't. Sometimes the armed forces are good for people. Sometimes the trade is good for people. Everybody don't need to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Even if they do need to get to another point in their life. Same thing with the growth and development, or letting go of certain things. Therapy is not the only way of getting it there. Obviously, the more tools you have in your toolbox, the better, and more equipped you'll be in different situations, even situations that you never even knew was going to come up. So I do, agree that the more tools you have in your toolbox, the more equipped you'll be for surprises and for other situations. when it comes to therapy for myself, me personally, I'd rather talk to somebody who I know, love, and trust. I don't open up to just anybody. So me opening up and speaking to a therapist or speaking to, someone else that I don't know, love, and trust, it doesn't work for me. You know, some people say, yeah, that's the best type because you're getting a non-biased, person to talk to or whatever the case may be. And that could be good for somebody. When it comes to me, however, I know how I operate. And I know opening up and talking about stuff that, experiences that I had in life and, stuff that shaped me to make me who I am and trauma or anything else, just talking to a complete stranger, someone that I don't have any rapport with, somebody that I don't give a shit about, that right there for me, it doesn't work for me. But like I said, everybody does what they need to do for them. It may work, it may be the complete opposite for somebody else. Like, oh yeah, no, I want a complete stranger. I don't want to tell everybody my business, or I don't want people that I know to be able to throw it back in my face and yada yada yada. I completely understand that, and I completely understand the whole aspect of a trained professional. You know what I'm saying? Being able to do stuff like that, and not to say that it wouldn't help in certain situations. I'm just saying for what I've experienced so far and what I'm comfortable with. I know the stuff that I've been through in my life, and I know how hard it is for me to open up and say certain things that I've experienced in my life. And I'd rather not talk to a complete stranger about that. It's just me.
I got you. I think that this ties into, I know we are short on time, but this ties into, we have 2 videos about therapy. Y'all mind if I play the other one so we can continue the conversation?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm a great father. I'm not a big stepper. Like the violence that I exhibited was because I was molested when I was young. That's what made me just operate out of fear. I had that fear of being vulnerable. I took all these different styles of martial arts. Weaponry, all of these things, but I was operating out of a place of fear because even though I'm tough, you still got that fear of being vulnerable. And it's something that a lot of men don't speak on. But I had read this book by, I think his name Mr. Jason Wilson.
Yeah, hell yeah, cry like a man. Yeah, that's my homie. I love Jason.
And he was like, men are supposed to be nurturers also. We great protectors, great fathers, but nurturers also. And it was like, yeah, it's like society wants you to just be tough and don't never, But I was like, I cry 2-3 times a day sometimes. I'm working out, doing yoga and things of that nature because you have to release or you will implode.
And the reason I put that one up, because Mike said something earlier about just why I'm always being angry. And I remember I had a very short fuse as a kid. Very short fuse. I was a good student and all that kind of stuff, but it didn't take much once I got into a space to not be able to turn that rage off. And here we go. That's why I like going to train professionals, because the people at my school told me that I was possessed with demons. And so they had to try to pray them out of me. Right. Which, hey, I ain't totally discounting it. Could have been some truth to that. But also molested as a child, right? And then thinking about how do you now protect yourself moving forward, regardless of that experience could be different for everybody, but then also rejection. What I'm saying, that what I thought was rejection being experienced as a child, not being accepted into the cool table or to this group or stuff like that, or all these different things came up. And of course I do my therapy now once a month with a trained professional, but therapy by definition is the treatment that you engage in order to fix a disorder or heal yourself. Like Dub said, it's not just a therapist. Many things can be therapeutic. They have therapeutic properties for you. I love to communicate, and so this talking to this person who I built that rapport with over time really does help. But like Mike said, it's brought up some different things for me to help me understand what is my body doing that my mind doesn't know. because oftentimes that relationship is broken between the mind and the body. The body is responding to something that happened to you as a kid as a defense mechanism within itself, and the mind is unaware of why every time we get in these situations do you do this. And having if one thing therapy has taught me is how to have a better relationship within myself and have a conversation with the moment that's causing my body to continue to react that way and say, hey, let me reassure you that we're safe now. Well, how do you know? We vet people differently now. We have this at our disposal now, you know, in order for me to free up, because if I continually stay in this state of like, I can't trust or I have to protect myself, that's energy pulling from me that I can't use on loving, that I can't use on trusting, that I can't use on being creative, that I can't use on being curious. Anything that you're doing with your body or your mind is pulling from your energy source. And so as long as that it's that constant thing that you have on that's pulling from your energy, that's pulling from your energy bank, and it affects how you do everything else. And so when this goes back to Errol's conversation about freedom, healing allows you to access more of the freedom that you've been afforded. And that's one of the things I really found about therapy that's really helped me to have the access to my ability to live my freest life.
Yeah,
that's true. I wanna put something up. I wanna read this real quick. My brother the drunk said, I clicked on y'all thinking this was a sports podcast, but this was the stuff I really needed to hear. Salute, man. We salute you too, brother. We appreciate you listening, man. We definitely appreciate you listening and tuning in, and even just staying through this whole show. You know what I'm saying? Staying through this whole show and just hearing what we're about and hearing what we had to say. You know, maybe this will help you guys. Maybe this will help us. Maybe some of the stuff that you guys have said is resonating with us. So we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, for sure. I like real quick before we get out of here. I like what my man said on the video about how men are also nurturers. They'll never talk about that. Talk about that. It's always the woman is the nurturer. The woman is the you know that nurturing. And I didn't really believe that until I started being a single dad and had to be the nurturer. And initially, I didn't know how to do it, like, at all. I was always calling my dad. I was always calling my mom. Like, I don't know how to respond to, he's doing this. Do I get on him? Do I give him a hug? I don't, you know what I mean? It just took time to actually tap in to that side of being a man, because I feel like a real man is also a nurturer. And I feel like because that really wasn't instilled in me when I was younger, not saying that I wasn't, but I never tapped into it. So it just took, sometimes it takes certain things to go down in order to really, you know, open up that nurturing side. Saying that to say, I feel like even hugging, and this is no homo, but even hugging another man is different than hugging a woman. When I hug Donnie or Dub or my dad or Carrie, it's a different feeling. It feels it. I don't know. I can't explain it. It just makes you smile from the inside just to feel that embrace from another brother that you know loves you and never know has your back, because you know what I mean. Walking down the street, a nigga gonna look at you sideways or ask you where you from. So to be able to hug another man and really feel like, all right, this is power, this is strength, this is bonding, this is love, this is brotherhood. Like, all men need to feel that. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's not what society really tells us.
You know, it makes me think of when I heard that and the guy saying it, and even as you're talking right now, it made me think about this guy who I follow on Instagram from LA, fighter or whatever, James the Beast Wilson. You know, and he raises his sons. He has 3 boys, and he raises his son, you know, fighting and teach him how to fight and all this kind of stuff. And he's extremely aggressive with him when it comes to fighting, and the way he's talking to him and making sure that he's, you know, just trying to get the best out of him. But he also displays his love and affection for his sons, you know, and he does it publicly for everybody to see. He hugs his son. He kisses his sons. You know what I'm saying? He tells them that he loves them. You know, and it's good to see that different different sides where I can be aggressive and I can push you to be your best. Playing football, fighting, doing your martial arts, doing all this kind of stuff. I can teach you those tools, but I can also give you a hug, and I can also give you a kiss, and I can also tell you that I love you. You know what I'm saying? Public, in front of everybody. So it's showing those different sides of, I'm gonna be strong, I'm gonna be aggressive, but I'm gonna also give you that loving, that tenderness, and everything else that you need too.
Yep.
Man. Well, fellas, you know where we're at that time of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, you've rocked with us for 2 whole hours. You know what we do on Sundays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. At the end of every episode, we like to give you guys a resource. Put it on the screen right now. It's called the Mental Health Hotline, Access Mental Health Hotline. The number is 1-800-854-7771. 1-800-854-7771. This can connect you to therapists, counseling, a support group, or maybe even just someone you can just get some tips from. Whatever your need may be. Sometimes you might just need to say call in because there's somebody that's close to you that's struggling with depression or something. You want to know how to approach them. We said it before, man. Every therapy session is not about trauma. Sometimes it's about developing a new skill set. Sometimes it's about just knowledge. I want to learn how to be a better communicator. You know what I'm saying? I want to learn how to be an active listener, which is something I feel like I want us to talk more about on this podcast. The beauty and the power of being an active listener. We talk about communication so well, but being able to actively listen. So maybe that's a place where you can get that skill set developed. 1-800-854-7771, 1-800-854-7771. Fellas, y'all got anything y'all want to add?
Nah. What I would just add is just take down this number, you guys. Take down this hotline number. The 24-hour access line. You never know when you're going to need it. You never know. It may just be in passing right now as we see it, but just take it down. You know what I mean? Put it in your phone under your notes. You never know how random this number may be needed. You may just like, oh my God, dude, what's that number? And you can't get to internet where you can get to the podcast, where you can fast forward and get the number. Just put it in your phone. You know what I mean? Put it in your little notes section of your phone and just have it just in case.
And I want to piggyback on that, and because you do that, basically the instructions that Dub just said, it doesn't mean that something is wrong with you, or that, you know what I mean. If I take this number down, and that means that I'm admitting that I got issues and I got problems, and then it don't have nothing to do with that. It's just a fail safe, because like Dub said, you know what I mean, outside of God, sometimes we need to talk to actual people. And at 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and everybody is asleep, and you don't got nobody to talk to, and you having all these thoughts going through your head, this is a great tool. Like Donnie just mentioned, tools. This is a great tool to have in your arsenal to keep your mental health stable. So like Dub said, I'll just take the number down, and if you need it, use it. And if not, great. And if not, you can give it to somebody else that might.
There you go.
Right.
All right. Fellas, who's praying us out tonight?
You, black man.
All right. I got it. No worries. Yahweh, we come to you with gratitude, thanking you for this opportunity to just be in a safe space to share. We thank you for the opportunity to expose part of our testimony that somebody else may be helped because of it. We thank you that even in our exposure, we learn more about ourselves, and that we're continuing our process of being made whole. So we thank you that as much as we talk tonight about, holding grace for other people and holding grace for ourselves, we want to thank you for grace. We want to thank you for love. We want to thank you for freedom. We want to thank you for generosity. All these things that we're talking about, who do we expose these things to or share these things with? None of them would be possible if it wasn't for you. So we thank you for love and peace and charity and trust and long suffering and patience, that you've given us these tools and these abilities so that we can properly do life. This is supposed to be an enjoyable experience. And some of us live to be 90, 100 years old. Some of us don't make it past 2 weeks old. And we don't understand your ways fully, but we do trust you because it's a choice. And so we just thank you that when you said all things are working together for our good, even if I can't see them that way, I'm grateful that I can walk by faith and not by sight. Thank you for giving us faith, because it is more powerful than sight. We thank you for this reminder in this moment. As we go into this night, there may be a conversation that we need to have with somebody, or somebody in another room that we're going to have a conversation or an encounter tonight. I pray, Lord, that we do it through your strength, not our own. We may have a busy week at work or something we need to do this week. I pray that we do it through your understanding, not our own. I pray, Lord, that we don't have this relationship and this partnership with you and don't utilize it for the power and the benefit and the advantage that it truly is. I thank you, Father God, as we go to court, as we go to to our co-parenting classes, as we go to therapy, as we go to our younger siblings' houses and try to help them navigate relationships in school. I pray, Lord, that we're always mindful that you're right there next to us, wanting to feed us the wisdom, wanting to feed us the strength, so that we can do things properly. We thank you, Father God, you'll expose to us where we've settled for a life less than what you've made, what you've afforded us. In certain areas, we've just settled for, what we will go after, what we could possibly become. We've limited ourselves based on our experiences. And I pray, Lord, that we're set free from that we continue to see the vision the way we saw it the first time. As you reminded me about love the first time I did it right. And ever since then, I've been altering it so I wouldn't get hurt again. Help us, Father God, to heal so that we can do things the way you intended for us to do it. That free love that we talk about, help us not just to be an imagination in our mind, help it to be something we can really pull into our lives, but show us how to do the work. If that just means spending time with you, if it means fasting, if it means a routine of your word and worship every day, whatever it needs to look like, if it means separating ourselves from certain environments and certain people and certain hobbies and certain music and certain TV shows and reattaching ourselves to things that feed us in a different way. Father God, I pray, Lord, you make that clear to us through other people, maybe through this podcast, maybe through some whatever confirmation you see appropriate. I pray that, Father God, that we're not so adamant about having our way that we sabotage our destiny. I thank you, Father God, that we understand that things run their course. Help us not to be so attached to situations that we won't let them go, even when we know we should. Things run their course and they have their seasons. And even if things are going well, that doesn't mean you should continue it if we have that inkling from you to move on to the next thing. So we thank you that you're there to guide us. Help us to be obedient, as my brother was talking about earlier, above all things. And I pray, Lord, that the seeds that were planted tonight in people's minds, I pray, Lord, that they're good soil. No seeds take root and they produce a life. Help us not to leave this conversation tonight. Just go do something different. Help us to meditate on what was shared tonight that was for us specifically. Help us to have conversations about it. Help us to really meditate on it, let it get inside of us and show up differently in our behaviors. Father God, we just thank you. Thank you for your Son. We thank you for your Holy Spirit. We thank you for this moment. Help us not to get stuck in the past or swept away by what future we want. Help us to be present here and now to how beautiful this thing is. We trust you and we love you. In Jesus Messiah's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Y'all enjoy y'all week.
Yep.
Fellas, any last words?
We appreciate everybody that
tuning in.
Yeah, exactly. What he said.
What he said. Next week, y'all.
Yep. 2 Chainz.